Once again, today we have the KGD Telemaster. It's an offset tele type guitar made from China. It was a $229 guitar from Amazon, and I just wanted to do a summary of all of the modifications and upgrades that I did with this guitar. So if this is your first time to the video series with this, I will leave links down below with all of the information on how to get these parts. Also, I will leave links to other videos so you can get caught up on the whole deal. So if you like this sort of thing, please give it a like, share, or a subscribe. I'd love to have you here as a subscriber. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave it down below and I'll answer in a timely manner. And so basically, I just want to start with the tuners and work my way through. This is all Guyker hardware. Now, it was the only hardware that I could find that was relic, that was of the modern aesthetic, which would mean 10mm tuners, and that they were also locking. So this is called a rust color, and it's also at Amazon. And you can see right here that they look really good. They're not actually rust color. They're more of a distressed nickel. And so far, they've been really great. And then I want to move to the string trees right here. These are also Guyker. One thing that I do recommend doing if you're going to do something like this is to try to use the same hardware from the same company. That way you have more of a consistent finish. Sometimes if you get a string tree from this company and tuners from that company, that the finish might be a little bit off. So one way I figured that made life a lot easier was just if I could get it from the same company, then I would. And it also afforded me the chance to try out some stuff that I'd never tried before. So these are also called rust color string trees, and they are also on Amazon. And like I said, I'll leave links down below for all this stuff. It also came with a bone nut from the factory. That's one thing also I'd like to talk about, is that the body of this guitar is mahogany, and it's got a roasted neck with stainless steel frets. Now, everything for the body work and the neck work and the fret work was really good. The one great thing about it is that the important stuff like that was fairly well done, so there really wasn't an issue there whatsoever. And so basically you just have to change out everything else. It has a rosewood fretboard with a relatively flatter radius. Now, the Amazon says it's a 13, and I read on some of the message boards where it was saying it was a 12-inch, but this one here was closer to a 14-inch, so it's a relatively flat radius. But honestly, some of my favorite guitars have that 14-inch radius, which feels pretty great. We move to the bridge. The bridge is a compensated saddle bridge, but it looks vintage. And it has that same look of the same hardware as the other stuff, like I said before. Also, the tone plate. The tone plate was the rust color tone plate with the knobs. Same deal. It's all vintage looking. When I upgraded the wiring to the American CTS pots, I did have to make those holes a little bit bigger just because they're set up more for the metric stuff. But really, it's no big deal to do that. It's just it's a really easy thing. And I also put it in my other video when I talk about upgrading the hardware. So I went with a different jack plate because I ruined the other one by taking off too much of the chrome, and it just looked terrible. So I bought a nickel football jack plate from Amazon, and that was I just kind of scuffed it up a little bit and just sort of made it look a little bit, older than what it was. And it turned out to be pretty good. As you can see, it's separated more from the guitar, so it's really hard to see that as, something that, oh, well, it's not, it doesn't match, you know what I mean? And plus, this guitar is made for me to have fun with it and, take it to gigs and just beat it around and, it's just like an old bar guitar, that sort of thing. Now, I did do a little work on the neck plate because, like I said, I ruined the other one, the chrome, I ruined the chrome finish on the other one, so I ended up taking a nickel plate that I had before, and I cut the little fancy curve in it and drilled a hole where it needed to go, and that all went really well too. And so the neck pocket on this guitar would fit really well with this guitar. There was a couple things that were a little bit sloppy, like the nut didn't quite fit in as tight as I'd like it to, but you know, I was able to glue it in there and it works fine. A couple of the string ferrules popped out, and it's just typical of a guitar that is not, you know, it's just a budget guitar, right? So you're gonna run into them sort of things. And I also went with the Guyker straps just because they look like everything else. And I aged the string ferrules myself, so that wasn't an issue there. And all in all, I think it turned out pretty good. I really love the look of this guitar and the fact that it is a, you know, a relic guitar. And, you know, you don't have to worry about scratching it or anything like that. As far as the pickups go, I went with the JBE Danny Gatton pickup set. And I also made my own wiring harness out of CTS pots and the American 3-way blade switch and all that stuff. So I also have a video. I'll link that right here for the pickup set if you want to see more on the playing and all that stuff there. Like I said before, I just want to do a quick overview and give you one place where we have all the links and everything that you would want to watch the other videos or buy the parts for doing something like this on this guitar. And so yeah, now that I've had a little bit of time with it, I can tell you that I've had no issues, none whatsoever. There's not been any issues with tuning or not staying intonated or any of that stuff. It's been really, really good. The guitar feels great. When I'm playing it, I don't wish I was playing something else, which is a good sign. You know what I mean? Like, it plays really well. All in all, you know, we're not going to turn a $200 guitar into a $1,500 guitar. It's just not going to happen. But one thing we can do is take a $200 guitar and have some fun with it and use a little bit of creative license and, you know, just make it your own more. And if that's something that you want to learn more about, this would be a great guitar to do that with, just because when you order it and you get it out of the box, it does work. The pickups were very, very terrible, and the hardware was not very good. You know, even if you screwed this guitar up, you wouldn't be out a bunch of money anyway, right? So this would be a great project for that. And like I said, I'm having a lot of fun with this guitar, and I do plan on using it for things and playing it a lot more. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave it down below, and we will talk to you on the next one. Thank you.